So, how many of you like working in groups? Usually, working in a group is easier than working individually, but in the mind of an autistic kid, they think differently. They like to work by themselves. So, today I'm going to persuade you that autism kids are no different than any other kid in the world. First, we're going to be working in a group and we're going to talk about what causes or what autism is and who it exactly affects. Then we'll move on to working with a partner and we will then look about the biggest struggles and that a parent has when having an autistic child. And lastly, we'll break off and work individually to share my personal connection to autism. So let's begin with working in a group. According to Autism Society, in March of 2014, prevalence of autism has risen 1 in every 68 births. But in 2004, that was nearly twice as great. It had changed to 1 in 125. This has opened so many opportunities to those with autistic kids as well as the child as well. Considering how to serve families for facing lifetime support for their children, such as doctor's appointments and the many therapy appointments that they have to go to for an autistic child. So now, according to the ProQuest Surge website, you have to begin by treating the parents first. Yes, you want to worry about the autistic child in a sense of they need therapy and they need the help that they want so that they can develop more as a regular child would. But you have to treat the parents first. According to this website, by treating the mothers and fathers first, it turns them into a therapist and later helps the child as well. So the families who were coached with their children having severe speaking issues fell from 55% to 46%. And those who formed a control group and were not coached, they actually rose from 55 to 63% on their own help. So now let's move with working with just a partner. According to Laura Shoemaker, there are 10 major struggles that parents have when they have an autistic child, such as worrying about the future or what will happen when they're gone, handling meltdowns and aggression, maybe their feeding and sleeping problems. What about their siblings? Like, what are their siblings going to treat them like? Puberty, dating, and transitioning into adulthood, and maybe such as training them for school or their teachers to better their education. Now, in this, I want to share my cousin. He is autistic. This is Braden. He is 9. And on this point, I questioned my aunt, what are your biggest struggles having an autistic child? And she said watching Braden at times when he doesn't fit in with some of his friends, also making it to the mini therapy appointments. And then she kind of went more into depth with the difficulty trying to solve the mystery of what causes autism. Like, there are many causes, and there are many different things to look for when developing autism, but she just has the struggle personally of saying, okay, how did he develop this? And also, according to her, Braden developed a mild case of autism, again, about 6 to 7 years old, and he's 9 now. So lastly, we're going to quiet down a bit and work individually. So according to my aunt, Braden is very intelligent, and some may say that autistic kids are too independent, so that when they're independent, they don't have that chance of learning other things that people learn. So over here on the side is a picture of pretty much the whole world in Braden's eyes. It took him probably 20 minutes to draw that by himself. And then this is a picture of him after painting. And then now I just want to share a few pictures with you of Braden. Braden is definitely obsessed with chocolate milk. So this is him at his favorite gas station near his house, drinking some chocolate milk, playing on his iPod. This is Braden in karate. He actually loves karate. My aunt thought that maybe he wouldn't like sports or anything like that because he's so independent, but he actually loves going to karate and making new friends. And then finally, this is Braden on the beach when they went to Hawaii. He is more of an independent person, so my aunt bought him lots of different things to play with on the beach. So there's a picture of him on the beach. So lastly, to recap, we worked with a group to learn what autism is and who it affects. not just that it affects the child, but the parents as well. Lastly, we worked with a partner and we shared the biggest struggles of having an autistic kid, looking into my aunt of going to the mini therapy appointments and looking at Brayden when he doesn't fit in. And lastly, we worked individually to my personal connection to autism, my 9-year-old cousin Brayden. So, as many of you know, autistic kids may not be like other kids, but that doesn't make them any different. So, if you want to know more about the Russian alphabet or anything about the days of the week, the months, or anything to do with planets, you can definitely find Brayden. So, I'm pretty sure that you guys know the show of Child Genius. So, I predict that maybe Brayden will be on there someday. So, if you guys need any help, just call 1-800-CHILD-GENIUS and find my cousin Brayden. Thank you.